We waited for almost an hour. The depute made service served tea twice, and finally the swine demon was about to arrive. Wow, there was an opening song for him. Oh, there's an opening song for him. Like, imagine when you're walking into the room and you have an opening song played. From afar, I heard a song-pitched voice draw out a long, melodious announcement: the Lord has arrived. Following this, a eunuch with powdered face walked to the door, holding a duster, waiting in his attendants. After 3 figures slowly approached from distance and entered elegant music hall, I let out a deep breath, focusing my gaze on 3 figures. The 3 figures consisted of 1 larger and 2 smaller ones, with the larger one in the middle and the smaller ones on the either side. The smaller figures were twin maidservants, while the larger figure was the swine demon. Swine demon was supported by the maidservant, slowly making his way towards the elegant music hall. I carefully observed him, scrutinizing his appearance. I hate it! I hate this guy. I hate his embodiment, okay? I hate it. I hate it. I hate looking at him. He was indeed the swine demon, the lord of the Central Plains, whom even the current emperor had to respect, and the clandestine emperor behind the annual purchase of lambs. His figure resembled a round wheat bowl. He was around the same height as me, but his waist size used to be many times wider. Swine demon wore a jeweled hat on his head, dressed in brownish yellow robe with large belt hanging over his belly. His robe was adorned with patterns, looked at like dragons or pythons, and there were dragon-shaped embroideries on the belt as well. The belt seems to struggle to contain his massive belly, indicating his extreme obesity. Yeah, so this is the swine demon look like. Yeah, just a look at this guy. He even had long hair. I could help but feel slightly fearful after seeing him in the state. People his surname were necessarily born with dragon-like appearances from within the streets. It was just like any other person with nose and 2 eyes, nothing particularly special. However, I never had seen someone so obese before. In these times of famine, disaster in northern Shanxi and the Central Plains, countless peoples were starving. In such era, to be able to eat to such an extent, he truly deserves the title of the swine demon. I don't even want to hear his voice. I'm so disgusted. After entering the room, the swine demon glanced at us with a smile, then slowly settled into position in the distance. The dark fat guy gave us a subtle signal, reminding us to bow to the swine demon. Greetings, Your Highness! I quickly stood up from my seat and bowed to the swine demon. Mansui also lowered her head, hastily rising from her seat to bow to him. I hate him. I hate that smile. I hate everything about him. The swine demon firstly glanced at us, his smile widening on his face. Then he finally spoke.
两位小客不必多礼了，若是觉得累，就先坐下吧。
Hate him.
本王本就爱看戏，无论是江南戏还是京戏，都看过不少。今日，本王也想着与民同乐一次，细品下更有民间烟火气的影子戏。
The swine demon smiled kindly, then slowly walked to the guest seats in front of the stage. Of course, we are deeply honored by Your Highness' invitation and will do our best to perform well. Facing the swine demon, I tried to mimic the way Hao Tang spoke in my memory, while Mansui portrayed a shy and timid demeanor. We both put on our mask. And it was apparent that the swine demon was also wearing a thicker mask. I had initially expected him to be arrogant and domineering, but he appeared to be smiling with his eyes squinted, resembling a kind and gentle old man. If I hadn't known about his true nature, I might have been truly deceived by him, thinking he was a benevolent and compassionate ruler. With a wave of his sleeve, the swine demon slowly took his seat. Seeing him seated, Mansui and I also sat down on the bench on the stage. After checking the white curtain and the puppets one last time to ensure everything was in order, I sat behind the white curtain. Mansui inspected the drums and then sat beside me.
刻，不知你们准备的如何了？
Right away, Your Highness. We'll be ready in a heartbeat. After responding to the swine demon, I glanced at Mansui beside me. I'm ready. I lowered my voice and conveyed my situation to Mansui. Oh, I suddenly remember. I had said this phrase before. I recalled when we were heading to Jizo with the other 3 girls. Before the performance, I had said the same thing to Mansui. However, now those 3 girls had found their own places and the audience before me was no longer them but a despicable swine demon.
那我们就演吧。
Seeing that I was ready, Mansui made up her mind and said to me, "We are prepared and about to begin the performance." According to the plan we discussed earlier, we had to act on the fly while performing. We only had one opportunity to assassinate the swine demon, and it was the best to strike when no one else was around. We planned to first perform a play for the swine demon to lower his guard, then persuade him to ask the others to leave, giving us the chance to showcase our best performance. During the second act, we would seize the opportunity to draw the slender blade hidden in the white curtain's frame and strike him fatally. Like, how would you even convince them that this is our best performance? Now all of you get out of this room. However, if during the first act the swine demon approaches voluntarily, getting close enough for she to kill, we could also ignore the others and go for him directly. Clang, 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 clang. Then the rhythmic drumming filled the air. Mansui began to play the drums and beats urgent, seemingly urging me to lose focus and not to lose focus and perform quickly. I hastily picked up the 2 bamboo sticks and controlled the small puppet of Zhang Fei, brandishing his serpent spear to start the performance. So cute! Saying that I had begun controlling the shadows, Mansui started singing at the top of her voice. Perhaps she also knew that this might be the last time she would perform, so she sang more freely than before. No longer singing softly, she used a loud tune showcasing the unique flavor of teen opera. I let out a deep breath, and I began to focus my performance too, earnestly controlling Zhang Fei behind the white curtain. Zhang Fei waved his serpent spear charging to the battle. Lu Bu lifted his halberd, riding over at her, galloping ahead. The 2 fought fearless amidst Mansui drumming and singing, engaging in dozens of rounds. Clap, clap.
好，好，真是精彩！本王虽不是第一次看影子戏了，可却是头一回看这么好的戏。
After the 3 heroes' battle Lu Bu was finished, the swine demon clapped his hands excitedly, cheering for us with delight. Thank you, Your Highness. You're so long as you like it.
谢谢王爷。
不用谢，我该谢你们才对。你们啊，让我看得这么尽兴。好，说来，你俩这组合也是奇怪。 是啥时候开始一起搭伙唱戏的呀？
Feeling a bit curious, the swine demon asked. It was several dozen days ago when I received the job to bring her to meet Your Highness. The journey was long and boring, so I happened to learn about her proficiency in shadow play. I thought it would be a good way to pass the time, so I learned some from her.
你这成年男子，竟跟着一个小女娃学影子戏，也是一件奇事。 哎，这小女娃看着怕生，还敢教人演戏，更是一位奇女子啊！哦，不对，是奇女娃。
Tapping the grapes! The swine demon laughed heartily while I smiled and nodded along, but inside I had my own thoughts. Yeah, Mansui was indeed extraordinary. Not only does she dare to teach others to perform, but she also dares to kill. Initially, she attempted to assassinate me, and now she's conspiring with me to assassinate you. If you look across the entire world, you probably won't find another extraordinary girl like her.
这小女娃，年庚几何呀？
He's scaring me by creeps! I'm really creeps out! The swine demon looked at me and then Mansui and asked curiously.
刚满10岁。
哦，10岁好啊，充满着灵气的年纪。你是哪里的人呀？
我是闪地北边的人， 家住甘泉附近。
Sign Demon asked Mansui with a smiling face, and Mansui answered with a hint of shyness. Knowing Mansui well, I knew her age was a lie, but her birthplace was not. It made me chuckle inside my mind, but I also a bit dissatisfied. Little brat, why did she deceive me about both her age and birthplace when I was with her enemy back then? Now she's only lying to the Swine Demon about one thing.
好，山地好啊，陕北更好。那儿确实是个好地方，那里的娃子朴实而会吃苦。你们演得不错，本王之后肯定会重重有赏。哦，演完了这出后，下一出你们有什么安排呀？
Swine Demon squinted his eyes, tilting his body slightly as he inquired, Your Highness, for the next act, we plan to perform the story of Wusong fights the tiger.
行，武松打虎好呀，本王就是喜欢看武松。不过，接下来本王想单独看着女娃子演一段。都说影子戏要好几个人演，本王倒是想看，只有一个小女娃要怎么演。
Swine Demon rubbed his belly, his cheeks forming a lump of flesh. Oh no, I got it. It seems that the Swine Demon, perhaps infatuated with Mansui, had taken an interest in her. Now he found me annoying and hoped I would leave soon, indicating that he didn't want me to participate in the second act. Oh no, she's going to do this alone? Going to assassinate him alone? Oh. Sorry. That's not good. If I'm not in the room and leave Mansui to perform alone, although it's within our plan, this plan is not the optimal one we discussed. Better to persuade him to let me perform the second act with her. Like, it should be Mansui who will pursue him, not you, because you will be like, if Yang is the one who will convince him to stay with her, it will be really suspicious. It should be Mansui's thing. Your Highness, shadow play is not suitable for solo performances. Would it be better to have me and her perform the second act together? This way we can perform well and you can enjoy the show to the fullest. Oh no, he's going to get mad. Oh yes. After hearing my suggestion, the Swine Demon's expression darkened. The atmosphere in the elegant music hall seems to chill under his shadow countenance. I told you, Mansui should be the one who discussed this with him, not you, because you're a nuisance.
王爷想怎么演就怎么演，你多什么嘴？
Upon hearing my words, the dark fat guy who was waiting nearby became furious and cursed at me. His expression changed completely, no longer the kindness he showed me when he first spoke to me. Oh no, at the same time, the royal guard holding a long blade stared coldly at me, his eyes filled with stern and murderous intent.
爷爷，没事的，我能给王爷单独演。
Yeah, you should let Mansui talk that, not you. Stupid Liang.
你别惹王爷不高兴了，要不先退出去吧。
Mansui sensed the tension in the air and spoke to me cautiously. Fine. I nodded and pretended to be somewhat afraid as I walked out.
你看这小女娃也比你要懂事，本王想看她一个人演，她就能一个人演。你先去领赏吧，别在这里了。本王就是要看看。
He walked out the door. The Swine Demon spoke. Oh no, not long after, the Swine Demon made everyone else leave one by one, leaving only him, Mansui, and Detsu, the maid servants inside. The doors of the elegant music hall closed with a creak. I stood with the dark fat guy and the royal guards and at the tightly shut doors. After a while, the dark fat guy suddenly started talking to me.
哎呀，小弟呀，你刚才怎么这样没眼色呀？啊，也别怪我刚刚凶你。 王爷想怎样就怎样，咱都不该说什么。
No personal grudge on that. Oh, what did they say? Yeah, I was indeed wrong just now. The dark fat guy criticized me for speaking too much just now, and I casually responded, feeling somewhat distracted. It's annoying. I was worried about the situation inside the room. Although the current situation was within Mansui's initial expectations, The best scenarios for us will be naturally facing the swine demon alone without any guards by side. However, executing the plan always came with some difficulties. The swine demon was cautious, and according to the common sense, he would either be surrounded by guards to face the two of us or would be alone with her. A long blade was hidden in the white curtain and used for the performance, and Mansui had been practicing for many days. She should be able to draw the blade in an instant and stab the swine demon. But what if the blade is hidden and what was discovered by the swine demon? What if her drawing speed was too slow and the swine demon managed to evade it? Really? The swine demon will evade it? I doubt it. I doubt it so much. What if the swine demon grabbed Mansui immediately after we left, entangled her, and didn't give her any chance? Thinking about various possibilities, I grew increasingly uneasy. Also, why were the maidservants allowed to stay inside? Could they be specially trained bodyguards of the swine demon skilled in capturing assassins? This is bad. Thinking along these lines, relying solely on her to assassinate the swine demon was too unrealistic. I glanced at the neighbor warrior and eyed the scabbard at his waist. Let's wait a little longer. After a while, I would seize this blade and then rush into the elegant music hall. Although he seems like a skilled fighter, he wasn't one of the elite guards from the capital city. If I suddenly approached to snatch his blade and immediately used it to kill him, he probably wouldn't react in time. As I was contemplating, the royal guard, the door of the elegant music was pushed open again. The two deaf-mute maidservants walked out from the hall.
王爷现在怎么样？
The dark fat guy curiously approached them, asking the two maidservants. They shook their heads. They seemed to be gesturing something in sign language to the dark fat guy.
我看不懂这比划的啥，你们懂吗？
The dark fat guy sighed and asked us. Both and I royal guard shook our heads. However, come these two maidservants also come out, could it be? Felt more uneasy. Although their presence meant fewer people inside, it should theoretically make it easier for Mansui to assassinate the swine demon. But why exactly they were allowed to come out? I shifted my gaze, staring intently at the royal guard. Taking a step closer to him, I hesitated on whether to snatch his blade or not. What? What? Pretending to be shocked. What? Suddenly, the swine demon's scream echoed within the elegant music hall.
什么情况？
The dark fat guy face turned pale with panic as he turned toward the direction of the hall, while the palace guards also froze, his gaze fixated on the same direction. Mansui had made her move. Whoosh! I swiftly took a decisive step forward, rushing to the side of the royal guard, and in one fluid motion I drew his blade from his waist. The royal guard was taken aback and shouted his panic while he looked at me. Whoosh! Before he could finish his sentence, I mercilessly swung the blade towards his neck. Ugh! The blade instantly sliced through his neck and blood spurted out, reaching up 8 feet. What? Oh, the blade instantly sliced through his neck. I thought it's just a slice. But it's true, it sliced. And blood spurted out, reaching up to 8 feet high. Kill that dark fat guy! Upon seeing me snatch the royal guard's blade and kill him, the dark fat immediately attempted to flee. I took another step forward and swung the blade, striking the dark fat guy squarely in the back. The dark fat guy staggered and fell writhing pain, clutching his back and rolling on the ground. Get lost! After taking down the dark fat guy, I angrily shouted at the two dumb maidservants standing nearby. They were not martial art experts and were immediately terrified by the outburst. They cried and fled in fear. Indeed, the training mute servants was more difficult than training ordinary people, let alone turning them into martial arts experts. So what happened? I kicked open the door to the elegant music hall. Inside, the swine demon was staggering with his fat body, chasing after Mansui. I told you he won't be able to dodge that. There's like a big target in him. His butt was halfway done. Halfway done and able to contain his large belly. A blade was lodged in his abdomen, blood mixed and disgusting fat dripping out. Despite the blade in his belly, he was still chasing Mansui, looking as if he wanted to tear her apart. The swine demon was already fat and now injured. He ran slowly, unable to catch up to Mansui for the moment. At this moment, with his gritted teeth and disheveled appearance, he looked quite frightening. Mansui was dodging the swine demon while calling out my name and seeking my help. You know, just a tip for you, stop Stab through the heart again? I mean, I don't think he's going to move quickly more.
喂，你快来护驾，捉住这死娃子，赏你100两。
Yeah, we're in cahoots.
还有，快给本王找太医，血一直在流，本王好疼啊！
Hey, Liang. 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 Do the finishing blow, Liang. At this moment, the swine demon was disheveled and his face contorted. He no longer had smiling appearance, but rather seemed somewhat frightening. He was furious to the verge of madness. After being stabbed by man's way, he couldn't fake a gentle demeanor anymore, only displaying a pair of bloodshot eyes. His entire focus was drawn to man's way, desperate to catch her and paying no attention to me, the intruder. He probably mistook me for one of his guard coming to his aid. Heh, how funny. Who you? Take a good look at who I am. Took a sudden step forward, wielding my blade as I charged toward the swine demon. Swine demon, I'm here to kill you too! I shouted angrily as I rushed towards the swine demon. Whoosh! Swung my blade again. Before the swine demon could turn his abyss body to face me, I slashed his buttocks. What? Thump! He was struck by my blow, his brownish eyes yellow robe torn apart, blood splattering everywhere. At the same time, he stumbled like a dark fat guy I did earlier.
你们真是大逆不道！你不能杀本王，不能杀！若是杀了本王，我这京城的皇帝要诛你们9族！
Swine demon quickly scrambled to his feet from the ground. Saying that I was not one of his guard but a second assassin, he no longer cared about seeking revenge at man's way. Perhaps the blood flowing in his veins gave him some courage. His survival instinct was strong. Even his buttocks bleeding profusely, he rushed towards the door with an elegant musical, desperate to escape. Don't even think about escaping. I swiftly caught up to him, chasing him after like death itself. Oof! Whoosh! Once again, I raised my hand, and the second blade swung towards the back of the swine demon's thigh. The gap between his thigh and his scalp was instantly obscured by a bloody mess from my strike. Blood gushed from the wound, and the swine demon let out a miserable scream as he lost balance and fell off the ground. He's down. Oh, that's so cool. This is so cool. Bam! Stepping forward, I planted my foot on his back, towering over him. Perhaps this was the first time a naturally privileged swine demon had stepped on like this. From this angle, he appeared just like any ordinary person. 2 ears, 1 head, no different from most people. I thought about what he just said to me in man's way. He warned us that we couldn't kill him. If we were to kill him, all 9 generations of our family were to be executed. Heh, that kind of threat might work on ordinary people, but for us who had already lost our families, it's nothing but laughable. The assassin remained silent, 1 foot pressing down on the fat back beneath him. His grip on the blade shifted from 1 hand of 2. As he silently looked down towards the person he was about to kill. This person was different from himself, and different from the girl who was with him. Both the assassin and the girl had lost their fathers, their homes, and lived in hunger and destitution. Meanwhile, this person was born in privilege, enjoying boundless love from the emperor, his father. The assassin had heard that the emperor had neglected his duties for decades, corrupting the government and devouring the lives of all people, for all the sake of his favoritism toward this person. Yet, even so, this person had never seen the suffering of the people who died because of him. He just kept eating and eating and eating. Such a person deserved to die and killed by him and the girl. The assassin let out a deep breath. He gritted his teeth and lowered his head. Gripping the blade handle, he concentrated all the skills honed over his lifetime into this moment. He knew that these strikes would be relentless. It would represent all the downtrodden who had been consumed by discarded. It would cut through the heavens and earths and all the injustices in the world. Execute all 9 generations of my family? Who's scared of that? Me and her. Our family were destroyed long ago. Swish! Ooh! Plunge! I rolled in rage as I swung the blade down in the head of the and the head of Swindy was instantly severed. Oh, I who had lived so long, I had never seen such a beautiful arc. The head of the swine demon was cut off by my blade, maintaining its appearance of sweeping and wailing even as it was decapitated by me. The round head briefly threw in the air, spinning 3.5 times in the mid-air. In that instant, time seems to slow down. I saw the expression on the chubby had changed from crying to shock and extremely pain and disbelief. Good. Finally, after a few more rotations, the chubby had turned away from me, hiding expression from my view. Finally hit the ground with satisfying thud resounding through the air. The head didn't roll far before the headless, fat corpse spun for a moment and fell silent. Clang! I dropped the blade onto the ground. Whew! It seems like I had just done the most exhausting thing as I suddenly felt completely drained. Standing up from the body of the swine demon, I glanced at Mansui who had walked up beside me at the moment. We exchanged silent looks for a while, simply gazing at each other and smiling in triumph for the successful assassination.
良夜，太好了，你终于来了。
Yeah, I always felt that it would be difficult for you to deal with him alone. So of course I had to come and help you.
臀要死了吗？
He said it's way over there, what do you think?
确实，那是死的不能再死了。
Now let's get out of here! Yeah, but I acted impulsively and just killed him directly. Now that I think about it, it was probably too kind of death for him, right? Like if given the chance, we should cook him alive.
是，臀妖这样的人，就该被凌迟或是烹杀。
Hey, how did you manage to stab him earlier?
我先试着唱了几句武松打虎，没唱几句呢，他就凑过来说想和我一起演。
Oh, that's disgusting.
他上了戏台，让我教他演，教的时候还总是对我动手动脚。我装出了害怕的样子，虽然确实也挺怕的。我和他说不喜欢被丫鬟看着，他便让丫鬟出去了。
Oh, that's
这时
nice.
候他对我搂搂抱抱，我跟他说等一下，说觉得热想脱衣裳。他听我这么说，很高兴。刚想解腰带，我便从白木的支架里取出那把刀，噗嗤的一下刺到了他肚子里。
That's good. Why did you just stab him in the
他
chest?
的肚子太大，太难找到胸了，
I told you we can't
而
evade.
且我的动作也慢了，确实刺不到呀。
Aren't hurt, are
手
you?
划伤了，你看，上面都有血。
Here, let me tear up a piece of his robe and bandage it for you. No, please! No, please! I don't want anything with his
不
robe.
要，一会儿我们就都要死了。
Fair enough. Mansui and I sat beside the swine demon corpse, chatting casually. After a while, I stood up, reached out, and lifted the swine demon's head. His eyes were closed, completely lifeless. Blood spread out, straining the entire floor of the elegant music hall, filling the room with grease smell of rust.
反贼停手！快放了我家主子爷！现在你们的外面围了一圈弓手，王府外面也围了一圈捕快，快丢下兵器，乖乖伏法！我是不伤主子爷。
Ah, they're here. We heard shouts from the outside elegant music hall, likely from the royal eunuch. It seems others have heard the commotion and come. Perhaps the two fleeing maidservants have brought help. If what the eunuch says were true, there were probably many archers aiming at the elegant music hall right now. They likely don't want us to harm the swine demon, so they haven't sent anyone to charge in directly.
我们跑不掉了。
Right, just like what we planned. We're not getting out. He chuckled self-deprecatingly and then walked step by step towards the entrance of the elegant music hall. Sure enough, it was just a freaking eunuch said. There were archers in front of the hall and even of the eaves of the surrounding residence buildings. Lackeys had encircled the elegant music hall completely, and we really had no way to escape.
你们这就出来了？主子爷呢？主子爷在哪儿啊？
The royal eunuch spotted my figure at the door and took cover behind the several guards armed with bows, while shouting questions at us. Master? I chuckled. Freaking eunuch, look, I already killed your master long ago. Ah, come on, check out where Spot Swinehead is. I laugh and curse before hurling the blooded fat head, and I just pick up them. A bloody streak raced through the air as head flew, landing in the distance. With its serpentine tail blood, the fat head rolled a few more steps.
主子爷呀，我的主子爷呀！
The freaking Yun! Upon seeing the head was shocked and rolled back a few steps. He picked up the head from the ground, examined it closely, and burst into tears.
杀了他们！快杀了他们！
After crying for a moment, he suddenly raised his head, angrily pointing at us. With his fingers, his eyes blazing with fury as if he wanted to devour us. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Thunk, thunk, thunk. In an instant, the royal guard began to draw their bows and aim arrows directly and ensuingly. I guess we can survive this. It's fine. Oh, sorry.
和良爷一起死也挺好的。
Hey, little brat.
怎么了，良爷？
Well, time is running out. Do you want to kill me with your own
不
hands?
杀。我说过，屯阳若是死了，不杀良爷的。
It's sick. You're actually keeping your word. I didn't expect that. But if the arrows start flying in a bit, you better kill me then. Being stabbed to death by you is better than being shot with arrows. Chuckled slightly, then reached out my hand to her. Aww. So... Oh, she took a step forward and immediately held my hand. She was so frail that I could feel her bones, but with her hand was probably the warmest thing I have ever touched. I tightened my grip on her hand, then one with hand holding the blade, and the other holding her hand. Huh? We crossed the door threshold of the elegant music. The swine demon massacred innocent civilians. How many children have fallen victim to his cruelty? He indulged in luxury, seized the land, and caused famine and death everywhere. Today we have exterminated this great demon, forever rid of the world's greatest scourge, and die without regrets. But his nephew is there. He walked out of the elegant music hall. I shouted these 3 sentences. Fire! Following the royal eunuch clock shout, the archers released their arrows altogether. Swish, 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 swish. Why is it on the outside? Are we outside? Are we like really do go outside? Oh, sorry, I didn't read that. A rain of hours devoured the sky, obscuring everything we could see. In that instant, time to slow down. A lot of things. I saw the sky filled with bloody rain from Tianqi era, and I saw my father smiling at me. I saw Kite, who I rescued, and saw the bandits I killed. I saw Mansui's dad, I saw the people I killed, and I saw Tang. I saw Hunger, Kure, and Kyonghwa. I saw the Inn and Jisoo before we bid farewell. I saw the scene formed by these people rapidly flash across my mind, finally freezing into the dream I had before. In the dream, it was the streets of Luan City. All the scenes were very similar to the dream, with dark clouds pressing down on the city and rain falling down from the sky. Oof. The chaotic rain of arrows whizzed through us. The intense pain made me unable to think for a moment. The previous imagination also stopped because of this. Mansui and I were shot down by the arrows and instantly turned into hedgehogs. Oh. After the first wave of arrows hit, I easily turned my body, shielding her from the rain of arrows with the back facing. The weight of the arrows bent my spine, making it possible to support the center of the gravity, and then I could only kneel on the ground. She also had several arrows in her body, although fewer than me, but her blood still stopped dripping. If I didn't want to see our blood. As if I didn't want to face the fact that we're about to die. If I were just feeling cold and worried that would feel cold too. So I leaned in and tightly embraced her slender body. I held her arms covered in blood. The icy arrowheads pierced our bodies. Our body heat escaping bit a bit along the arrows.
你还在吗？我好冷。
Oh. She was held stiffly and protected in my arms while speaking to me slowly. But I couldn't talk. Gurgle, gurgle. My throat was pierced by an arrow and blood gurgling out. Couldn't speak at all.
良爷还在呀，只是没法说话了。
He chuckled softly.
之前我装成哑巴，现在你 真哑巴了。
She chuckled softly.
凉，抱紧我吧。
She nestled closer to me, tears streaming down her face. I used the last bit of my strength to keep her protected in my arms, blocking the rain of the arrows and holding her tightly. The swine demon is dead. From now on, no more girls will be killed by him, and no more common people will be harmed by him. She got her revenge, and I got mine. It's all over now. Just thinking about this, I felt relief. No more pain, no more fatigue either. Simply waiting to sink into the eternal dream. I heard the sound of the second wave of arrows. Those arrows came from distance so far away that it seems unlikely they would hit us. Just only then I realized the first wave of arrows had interrupted my imagination. At the end of all those memories, those people and the fleeting images must have been her. Stood on the streets of Luoyang facing me, her smile as radiant as ever. This time, her smile was neither fake or forced. Months away, she was eventually smiling genuinely from her heart. Let's go. I walked up to her, took her hand, and together we walked forward. Step by step, we moved forward, leaving behind the endless rain, the closed-up city, and the cold dynasty. Ahead of us is an endless sunny sky, vast filled of wheat, and an era where everyone could eat their fill, where starvation would be no more. Well, that's not how that really works. Conclusion, together in death, with body as the sword, exterminating swine demon. Win. Oh, actually, that's not how that really works. Even if you kill the swine demon, this game is dedicated to those fighting for no more starving. And to you, our play. Ah, thank you so much. Yeah. Well, I don't think, I mean, yeah, like, the swine demon has his still nephews, still have his nephews. So, it's either their nephews is more humanly possible than the swine demon. But if the nephews have been infected by the swine demon's culture or something, then I don't think the fatigue will stop, or like, I don't think the, you know, how the government will change if there will just be like the swine demon. But I think the girls, the woman, or anything, the kids, the consuming of them will be much lesser. Because I think that's one of the unique features of the swine demon. But for them to like think that the fatigue, everything will stop, fatigue, poverty, and everything will stop, I don't think it will. Because I mean, it's not just the swine demon who is greedy. It's all the officials in the palace, I think, unless the other officials on the palace will be more, have a justice in them, sense of justice or heroic things. Yeah, I think this ending is bittersweet though. I mean, they killed the swine demon, yes, and the swine demon didn't really got the death that he deserves. But still a heartwarming ending. That, I mean, let's be honest, that assassination that they pulled off with the swine demon is really like almost impossible, and they be able to pull it off. But after that, it's really impossible for them to get out of the palace. So like having an escape plan with just two of them, and then the swine demon is already dead. It's really impossible now. I still have one ending that I need to do, and maybe that ending is more not of a bittersweet ending, because we will have the help of the rebels. And I know it's a finish. This is one of the finished stories. It's a really, there's still really, wait, wow, I love this. Okay, let me just shut up and listen to the music because I love this.
火爱无敌，人言短如雨。红过无际，冰过如刀体。手机无极，妇孺即可以。烛光无闻，黎明生死曾在意。出走不知乡里时，我已不想寻找。说此一曲歌，若为家，不为鸳鸯。那散落一切都不不及昔日的回忆，依稀见你的情都付不起记忆的哭泣。是我想你的简单，敢忘记护我的回忆。你是我金玉溪的回忆，一个人的累积。昏来无敌，白骨早已起。红过无极。
It's gonna be copyrighted though.
舍弃无极，日月将更替。烛光无闻，黎明生死曾在意。出走不知乡里时，我已不想寻找。只剩一句天地为家，何惧鸳鸯？这一路崎岖，或与荆棘，都不曾在意。唯独有道比喻，默念千次百次的心意。撇过他多锋利，不会惊喜最深的质疑。终必是如何才能彻底甘心将其丢弃。那千古之缘都付不起心里的涟漪，与你千里之行都付不起记忆的孤寂。是我想你的剑都付不起护我的回忆，你是我心与的回忆，一个人的累积。
Oh, here we already reached the end of the credits. But I think that the best ending is that we will have a life after the swine demon. Oh, still have? Okay. But I think the zero creation games, yeah. Choose what's that? Choose endless world from zero. I don't get it, but sure. And I think the best ending for this is that we will have a life after the swine demon. I mean, after killing the swine demon, it won't like automatically go back to hey, we're not hungry anymore. Hey, there's no poverty. Hey, there's no greed now. They will still have that, but at least let us have the life that much better than this. And like maybe visit the girls again and how are they doing? Is Kyung-ho already got home or she's decided to stay there? Okay. That's the flowchart. Oh. Real conclusion? What do you mean there's a fake conclusion? Together in death. What do you freaking mean there's the real conclusion? Maybe this is the fake conclusion? I mean, let's see if the ending of Together in Death is more good or more better than me joining the rebels. But it's a really good ending though. Now let us have another run, our last run. of me joining the rebels finally.